Hi, this is Mrs. Ellison, and Miss Dorney has asked me to share with you 5 reads that she would like for you to choose from as an additional book to pair with your study of William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. So she wants you to select from the following 5 titles. All 5 have something to say about how a character reacts to violence in their world. This first one is called Monster. It's by Walter Dean Myers, and when it was published in 1999, it won not one but 3 major American awards. It won the Prince Award, the Coretta Scott King, and also a National Book Award. Steve Harmon is our main character. He is on trial for being an accomplice to murder. The story starts with him in jail, and he's trying not to cry as he reflects upon where he is wound up. In that moment, he decides that his real life is starting to look a lot like a bad movie. So he decides to start writing that movie in a notebook, and the court is letting him keep that notebook. What you wind up reading will be the script of it. This is a great novel for people who like to read stories that are not told in a very traditional way. It's very readable, quite readable. This one is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak, and Death is the narrator of this novel. It's set in Nazi Germany, and Liesel is our main character. She comes to live with the Hubermans as a foster child, and Death is watching her from afar as she learns how to read, as she begins to find solace in books and storytelling, and she steals a book from a Nazi bonfire one night. She also helps the Hubermans shelter a Jewish man named Max. You'll appreciate Liesel's quiet acts of defiance and heroism. It's a longer but very engaging tale. There's a movie that goes along with it. I'd say that the book is much better than the movie, even though the movie is quite good. This next one is our only nonfiction choice. It's I Am Malala. On October 9th, 2012, Malala was 15 and riding a bus home from school. She was shot in the head and was not expected to recover. The reason why she was shot in the head was that the Taliban fighters in her valley had decreed that girls could not go to school. Her defiance of that order and her miraculous recovery has made her an international figure. If you haven't read her powerful story yet, now is definitely the time to do so. These next 2 are your honors options. This one is Macbeth by William Shakespeare. And if you've ever heard the following words, double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble, congratulations, you've already read 10 words from Macbeth. This is one of Shakespeare's most bloody plays. Macbeth is a Scottish general who meets 3 witches on his way home. They predict that he will be king of Scotland one day. His ambition, coupled with that of his wife's, spurs him to murder the current king of Scotland and take his place. His guilt will then become his downfall. It's a good story. And this one is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson, who is known for lots of other books, including Treasure Island. It's a fantasy mystery thriller written during Victorian times. At the beginning of the story, all the reader knows is that a lawyer named Mr. Utterson is responsible for the will of a scientist named Dr. Jekyll. This puzzling will states that all of Dr. Jekyll's fortune should go to a man named Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde is known to be a dangerous and violent man. He is quite different from the respectable Jekyll. So why would Jekyll leave his fortune to Hyde? That is the question that Mr. Utterson is trying to figure out. You may think you know this story, but I guarantee you don't really know it at all. Those are your 5 choices. Check in with Miss Dorney, and hopefully one of them is sparking your interest. Thanks a lot.